Hello, beautiful friends. It is week 4 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge, which has been so awesome. I participate in it every year. I just love it. I'm going to give you the recap. I don't have many extra videos this week to share because I had a raging headache, and so I just did what I could to get little clips and photos. But let me give you the recap of this week. So this was the first time I ever canned chicken broth in the pressure canner. It was so easy. I don't know what I've been waiting for, so that was awesome. I was able to get 4 quarts and 3 pints. I figure Chloe can bring the pints to college and I will keep the quarts. Then I also pressure canned potatoes for the first time. Peeled them. My potatoes are like this big this year. We are in a major drought. I took the bigger ones that were maybe like this big and I peeled them and I canned them. The rest I'm going to use for seed potatoes. I mean, it's just not worth really doing much with them. So I got 6 quarts of potatoes. That's exciting to me too. I did the soup starter video of tons of soup starters. I'm going to keep going. I have a lot of celery to get through, but I'm waiting for more carrots to come out of the garden before I do that next step. I think the celery should be fine. It's in a baggie. Not too worried about it. But I can also do some soup starters with just onion and celery, or I can just, you know, I can kind of leave a gap in the containers and then add the carrots when I have them. Kale. So I've just been preserving a ton of kale for the freezer. I usually do the muffin tins, but I saw Jessica from Three Rivers just sort of makes a ball with her kale or greens, squeezes it in a ball after blanching and then puts it on a baking tray. I did that, but I also just blanched it and then put it on a baking tray just as is, and then I just crushed it up and crumbled it and put it into a bag. Maybe that isn't great for space utilization, but it was so easy and skipped a step, which I really needed. I fermented more salsa. I actually did that just this morning. And then I keep working on my celery salt, so I have all that celery leaves to get through. So some of it is just straight celery leaves, some of it is celery leaves that is powdered, and some of it is celery leaves blended with salt for a celery salt. And I think that wraps up week 4. So I almost forgot to say that I also made 2 pasta bakes. I have a video on a hack for freezer meals where you don't have any waste. So I was able to put 2 of those in the freezer. So someone asked me, one of my friends asked me a little bit about traveling with food, how I pack up with food. I consider this one of my superpowers. You know, the big joke in our family used to be, we'd be on like a day trip and the kids would be like, Mom, where's the salami in your purse? Always have salami in my purse. Not right now because I'm actually out of any sort of like summer sausage or salami, but it's such a great thing to bring because you don't really have to worry about it going bad. You don't need to refrigerate it. You don't need a cooler. I really prefer bringing things I don't need a cooler for. And if anything is like cold or frozen, that can serve as it thaws, that can serve as something to make it kind of insulated and cool if need be. I'm not a big like worrying about refrigeration for a short amount of time. So we happen to be taking Eli, Dave and I are taking Eli to Vermont to go look at a school, a college. He's a senior this year. And we have an Airbnb that we're staying in overnight, and it has a kitchen. And because I have so many food allergies and Eli is incredibly food sensitive, Dave will eat anything anywhere, but so I bring my own food pretty much everywhere. We'll probably go out to eat once, but also just economically, it just doesn't make sense when we have a house full of food, we have a garden full of food. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how I bring food, what I pack, how I kind of think it through. The part you won't see at this very moment is upstairs. I have some rice cooking in the rice cooker. I'm going to leave half of that for the people who are not coming on the trip, who are here taking care of the animals and who have all the things that they need to do here. And then I will be bringing the other half of the rice with us to use for dinner tonight. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you. All right, well, let's start with the first thing. So here are car sandwiches. We're not a huge sandwich family, but I had some chicken, and so I made us a bunch of chicken sandwiches. Everybody likes different bread. I have gluten-free, different condiments. So those are all made and ready to go. One for each of us, actually 2 for Eli. And then we've got some almonds and dairy-free chocolate chips that we can munch on if we need a little snack, and some grapes to munch on if we need a little something more sweet. I always travel with olives. It's just a given, salami and olives if I have salami. And these I like munching on them. These I'm packing. I keep a bunch of cans of olives like in extra storage food, and then I can grab them for times like this. So I'm going to bring these so that I can cut them up into our dinner tonight, which is going to be the rice and tilapia. This is frozen, so I'll just kind of stick it in there. This is a basil kale chive pesto that will probably thaw by the time we get there as well. So we'll have the rice for dinner with the fish. I've got the olives, I've got the pesto, and then Eli can have the sweet chili sauce with his because he won't eat the olives or the pesto. I just keep these again in our like overflow food, organic sea salt chips, and a jar of salsa that I canned. And then for the morning, I have my coffee already portioned out, ready to go, and a bunch of eggs from our chicken, some onion jam. I haven't really thought through what I might do with them, so I might add something else in with this. Haven't really thought through what I might make in the morning. We might not eat in the morning there. We might go out to breakfast, but I just don't know. So if I get up early, I get up so early compared to these other guys, so I want to make sure that I can have some protein right away. And I love my onion jam. I brought a little bit of honey that's just left in this jar. I don't sweeten my coffee, but you never know who you'll be when you're on the road traveling, so you got to prepare for anyone you might be. So then I'll get the rice in a Tupperware. We'll have that. I'm making jars of tea. Dave drinks green tea that is sweetened with lemon juice. I make a half gallon for him each day, so I'm making 2 half gallons of those. We'll bring those with us. I'm making myself a nettle lemon balm ginger tea, and that's infusing right now, and then I'll put that in smaller jars and we'll bring that. That's kind of what we sip on all day. That's kind of like our all day drink. For the most part, this should do it. So this will get us, we'll leave around noon. We will have lunch in the car, lunch on the go. We'll have dinner, the fish and rice at the Airbnb. And then in the morning, I'll have these eggs and maybe olives, and I'll probably bring some cheese so I can do like cheesy eggs for Dave and Eli. And then for me, I'll do eggs and olives if there's leftover pesto. I might be able to do a fried rice actually, because we might have rice left over, so that could be a really quick, easy thing. In which case I could grab one of my soup starters. Ooh, kind of liking where this is going. Glad we talked that out. All right, so fried rice in the morning. Perfect, done. You know, Eli will bring fizzy water, a water bottle in the car, and that should do it. And we should not have to stop at a grocery store at all. We'll have everything we need. And then the plan would be to just have one meal in Vermont, so probably lunch. We'll probably do lunch and then head back after that, so it's about a 4-hour drive. And that's how I pack. Like when you have things ready to go, when you know you've got, like I had corn chips, I have crackers, I have all sorts of things that we don't necessarily eat all the time during the week, but for moments like this is when I love to be able to grab a bag of pretzels for the kids for the car, or popcorn for the car, or something like that, just to be able to go. The almonds, I always have almonds in a jar. I typically have chocolate chips because we've got a little sweet tooth and we love to munch on those, and they're non-dairy, so that's really good. So it's really just kind of looking around and seeing like, what could I put together? What's really simple? We'll generate a little bit, you know, not a ton of garbage. So we'll have like the wrappers from the fish. We'll have the container of corn chips, and then the sweet chili sauce that'll come home with us. All the jars will come home with us. I reuse and save all those. So we're really not generating much trash either when we take ourselves from Massachusetts to Vermont. And that's something that's really important to me as well. So that is just in a nutshell, just one little trip that we're taking. 3 people are being fed. And oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring a extra Tupperware for any leftovers because we probably won't eat all the fish. If I make fried rice, there could be some of that left over. I will have the Tupperware that had the rice in it, but just in case, I want to have just one more Tupperware ready to go so that I can put anything in there that we haven't used. So it's just a nice thing to keep, you know, in your extras. Usually Airbnbs have things like oil and salt and pepper and things like that, but I will be bringing my little travel bottle of avocado oil. We shouldn't need salt because we've got the olives that are salty, the pesto is salty, the chili sauce is salty, so there really should be no reason to need any salt. All right, so that's our little journey to Vermont. I'm really excited to go away for a night and very grateful that I'm able to do that. All right, so that wraps up week 4 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.